Giants are right in the middle of the race for the playoffs. 34 games remain. Every game is huge. San Francisco holds one of the NL wildcard spots by the thinnest of margins. And today, they'll have their work cut out facing one of baseball's most dominating pitchers, Stephen Strasburg, the National League leader in strikeouts. Final game of the series, and it's all coming up next. Afternoon baseball here in our nation's capital as we get ready not just to wrap up this series, but wrap up this road trip. It is Game 3, Giants and Nationals. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Alongside me is Mike Krukow. Very good game for the Giants on Friday. Not so good yesterday. So that means today the winner wins the series. And pretty good pitching matchup. Vogelsong's pitching well. And Strasburg is pitching extremely well, especially at home.
Man, so far the starting pitching really has set the tone for the outcome of the first two games. And for Ryan Vogelsong, all he needs is a few runs. 25 starts this year. He's been shut out 9 times. Now, at some point, you'd think he may start to sue these guys for lack of support. And what do they get? They get Stephen Strasburg, who, oh, by the way, leads the league in strikeouts. But you know what? You have to find a way. The key for Vogelsong is the leadoff hitter. They're hitting .406 against him. He needs to have a better percentage against the guy he faces to start each inning.
And that would be Denard Spand, who's got pretty good numbers against Vogelsong. All right, we mentioned the matchup. Vogelsong against Strasburg. When we come back, we will have the lineups and the very first pitch of this game right after these messages.
Bay Area is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Right now at Jack in the Box, try Jack's Spicy Chicken Club Combo for just $4.99 plus tax. And by Toyota, #1 in MPG, durability, and resale value. Toyota, let's go places.
We have a beautiful day for baseball here in our nation's capital. as this is the final game of this 3-game series. Our game time weather is presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is now open every day. 76 degrees here at the yard. Very, very light winds. Humidity down from the last couple of nights. And the forecast is partly cloudy, and we are going to see sunshine today. Now let's take a look at Bruce Bochy's lineup today. Angel Pagan said he needed a day. He got one. Blanco's going to lead it off, followed by Hunter Pence. Pence's numbers against the Nationals very good, including a big home run last night. Buster Posey's going to hit third, followed by Pablo Sandoval, the cleanup hitter. Then the former National Michael Morse, he will hit in the 5th spot. Joe Panik 6th. Travis Ishikawa, who's had a nice week, he will hit 7th. Brandon Crawford is in the 8th slot, and Ryan Vogelsong will pitch, and he will bat 9th.
On the mound today for the Washington Nationals is going to be the right-hander Steven Strasburg. Big guy, 6'4", 230-pounder, 4-year veteran. And for Strasburg, who's 26 years old, you take your bats off of him, you're going to see a fastball that goes low to mid-90s, hard curveball, and a changeup. Kind of a 3-pitch guy. Look at the strikeouts, 198 against 38 walks. He could strike you out with all 3 of the pitches. They are that good. Against the Giants lifetime, Strasburg 3-0 with a 1.80 ERA. And he is hot. His last couple of starts, 2-0, ERA at 0.60. The big difference, he's throwing strikes on the inside corner to hitters now. A suggestion made to him by Matt Williams. Let's take a look at the defense playing behind Strasburg, starting in the Nationals outfield from left to right. It'll be Harper, Span, and Worth. Great arms on the corners with Harper and Worth. Ian Desmond and Anthony Rendon will be on the left side of the infield. Cabrera and LaRoche on the right side. Jose Lobaton, well, he'll be in the squad, putting down the signs. The rubber match game. It was interesting. They had the kids come out and accompany the players as they took the field. And just as Steven Strasburg was about to make his first pitch, the child that was out with Rendon, the third baseman, cuts across between home and the mound. And right in the middle, about ready to make a throw, he had to stop suddenly.
Yeah, that's close to being the very last time they'd ever let the kids on the field.
Yeah, that was. Fortunately, nobody was hurt. But
there you go.
Definitely rocked his motion a little bit.
We've lost control.
Father's out there running around trying to.
Strasburg pulled a hammy.
Tried to herd cats there. Yeah, they're going. Pulled a hammy and it tore his shoulder up. Just kidding.
It will mess with your concentration a little bit.
It'll absolutely jar you, no question. Fortunately, he saw her.
Maybe the little girl's a Giants fan.
Well, if she is, she just did a good
She's
thing.
on the plane coming home.
She messed him up.
So here we go. Giants won on Friday 10-3. Nationals came back yesterday and won 6-2. So here's Blanco doing his stuff, getting ready to get in the box. And the first pitch of the ball game is on its way, and it's popped back and out of play. So we get started a little late at 1:39. Blanco hitting .249. Hunter Pence on deck. And that fastball is high. You have to break out the sunglasses. What do you think about that?
Well, absolutely gorgeous day for baseball. Could not be any better.
I didn't think sunglasses and this road trip would ever be said in the same sentence.
Well, we haven't seen the sun till today. At least it seems that way.
Could you do the umps? I don't have my glasses on.
Absolutely. Chris Conroy will be behind the plate today. Jordan Baker at first. Jerry Meals, the crew chief, at second. Paul Emma will be at third base. Conroy, a low ball umpire. It's a pretty consistent zone, and he will give some corners, but you have to earn them.
Thanks, partner.
That a bit.
3 balls and 1 strike. Let's take a base runner right here. See if Blanco takes a pitch. We found out that Conroy was going to call that low pitch a strike.
Right away, Bruce Bochy not happy with that call, nor was Gregor Blanco. Not only that, but he's going to have to cover it if he goes down there again.
Absolutely. Can't take it now. Foul back. Giants 68 and 60. Dodgers won last night, so they're 4.5 back. They're 3-2 on this 6-game road trip. High and deep to right. It is out of here. And I guess you can thank Chris Conroy for that one.
Well, I think Gregor Blanco's pretty happy about how that all turned out. And I think Bruce Bochy is pretty happy as to how that all turned out.
Hey, how about you go, we go. That's how we go.
So a get it in challenge fastball, trying not to walk Blanco. And he gets a 4-seam fastball right at the belt, and boom, boy, does he put a charge in it. And right center field is the hot part of this yard. And Blanco in a 2-strike count comes up big time.
So here's Hunter Pence. Pence hit a home run in the first inning yesterday. He takes a strike. Pence hitting .284 on the season. And now it's 0-2.
Well, I don't know about the fastball, but I do know there was a little anger behind that curveball. That was a good snapper. All 3 of his pitches, the curveball, the fastball, and the changeup, are fantastic strikeout pitches.
And this time Pence goes around. Lobatone blocked it, and Pence is retired. So here's Buster Posey. Buster hitting at .285, 15 home runs, 61 driven in. Buster Posey 3 for 10. Lifetime against Strasburg. It's 95, a pretty easy 95.
He's not a 100% guy. I mean, he tries to throw at a speed where he can control the strike zone, and when he does that, it's 93, 95. Good changeup. You would expect the guy that leads the National League in strikeouts to have some weapons to strike you out with, and he's got 3 good ones. And you saw the arm action on that changeup, identical to that of the fastball, and that's what sets up that changeup so beautifully.
And Posey fouls it out of play. One ball and 2 strikes. Pablo Sandoval on deck. And that's hit out to right field, but Worth is there. And Worth will put it away.
Time now for our Nissan keys to the game. Number one, Ryan Vogelsong against the leadoff hitter, and not just Denard Span, but against everybody that leads off an inning. They're hitting .406 against him. He needs to improve upon that against this team. You need to get those table setters out. Number two, beat the fastball. The Giants have already done a good job of that. A 3-2 challenge with Blanco hitting it out of the ballpark. But that really is the best pitch you're going to see in an at bat early against Strasburg, and you got to take advantage. Those are our Nissan keys to the game.
And the Panda shoots him into left field, a base hit.
Stay hot, Panda. Sandoval has had a nice road trip, and a lot of what he has done, you just saw, he's going the other way.
Morris has only faced his former teammate twice, and he's 0 for 2. So Sandoval aboard with 2 outs. The target is in. And it wasn't exactly to the target, and Morris fouls it out of play. Michael Morris on Friday night went 1 for 3, and then he went 1 for 4 in the game last night. Andres Torres led a game off in 2010, and that was Strasburg's first start. Andres, I miss that guy.
Yeah, he was a good Giant. Cross paths with him again, I'm sure. He'll stay in the game.
Absolutely. One and one to Morris, and it will not be at Walmart.
No. As we got to know Andres Torres, you'd walk in the Giants clubhouse and he would say hello to you and shake your hand like 3 times a day. And Aubrey Huff said, well, I know what he's going to be doing when he's done playing baseball. He's going to be a greeter at Walmart. Everybody laughed and whatnot. He'd be a good one.
3 and 1. Joe Panik, who's never faced Strasburg before, is on deck. This will be the 21st pitch of the inning for Strasburg, with Sandoval at first, 3 balls and 1 strike.
That's the inside fastball. And if you're a hitter looking fastball on a 3-1 count, you're not going to just look fastball. You're going to look fastball away or in. And Moore's clearly not looking in on that fastball. See Steve McCaddy, the pitching coach. And that suggestion to use the inside corner with fastball was actually made by National skipper Matt Williams.
Sandoval will take off. And it's up and in.
All right, time now for our Solar Company Electrifying Player of the Week. Friday, Joe Panik. Giants trailing 1-0. 2 men on, and he steps up against Doug Fister and does this. Home run number 1. It gave the Giants a 3-1 lead. They would never give up that lead. And that is our Solar Company Electrifying Player of the Week. So just like that, he joined the club, partner.
Yes, he did. So he'll face Strasburg now for the very first time.
It's Doug Fister. One of the really good guys in this game. And he and Joe Panik will forever be joined at the hip because of that swing of the bat. You don't forget the guy you hit your first big league home run off of.
Sandoval at second, Morris at first, and this is rolled to the second baseman Cabrera, and that'll end the inning. Giants on the board on the home run by Blanco. Vogelsong coming out. Nationals coming up. Lead 1-0. And here's the Nationals lineup, and it'll go like this. The very tough Denard Span's going to lead things off, followed by Rendon, and then Jason Worth, who's hot. He's just hot right now. Let's see what his numbers are against the Giants. LaRoche, Desmond, and Harper as Drupal Cabrera, the former Indian, is hitting 7th. Lobaton, the catcher, 8th, and then Strasburg, 9th.
On the hill today for the Giants will be Ryan Vogelsong. Vogelsong, the 37-year-old right-hander, 8-year veteran. Coming into this ball game, we'll take a look at his numbers. Vogelsong, 7.9 with a 3.73 ERA. 118 strikeouts in 144 innings. And in 25 starts, he's been shut out 9 times. That's absurd. Giants need to get him a few runs today. For Vogelsong, when you take your at-bats against him, you're going to see a fastball a lot. He'll go in, out, up, down, tremendous corner command with 2 types of grip on the fastball. He'll throw a curveball, a slider, and a changeup. And he'll do all of those things on any count.
Here's Span, who's proved to be problematic as he takes a strike. Well, problematic yesterday. He did go 0 for 4 on Friday. Scored a couple of runs in the game yesterday, and overall hitting at .301. In at third is Sandoval, and the pitch is wide. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Nationals, of course, had won 10 straight until Friday night, and with them winning yesterday and Atlanta losing, they've got a 7-game lead on the Braves. This is hit on the ground to Ishikawa, to Vogelsong. It's a pretty good example how you get a bad jump when you get jammed. Span hardly got out of the box at all.
Let's take a look at that defense playing behind Ryan Vogelsong today for the Giants. Starting in the outfield from left to right, it'll be Morse, Blanco, and Pence, with Pagan getting a day's rest. Crawford and Sandoval on the left side of the infield. Panic and Ishikawa on the right side. Buster Posey will be in the squad, putting down the signs. There's the jam shot you're talking about.
Plus your hands hurt. You're really not into it. There's a lot of things going on as to why that trip down first base isn't all that fun. Broke your bat. Your hands hurt.
I think you read it.
I'm out. I was actually trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. All those things came back to me very quickly. Well, Vogelsong is going to try to get into a good rhythm with Chris Conroy. If he can do that, then he's going to get some strikes. Right now it's 2-0. And it's 3-0.
It's always that period of vulnerability. Hey, he's got his tie on.
We need to get one of those.
I mean,
that's awesome.
The period of vulnerability where you're adjusting to the mound, and it can play a little havoc with your release point. And it's usually a 10, 15 pitch period there where they can get you. You'll make some mistakes, and you don't quite have the great command that you'll pick up as your rhythm and your comfort to the mound increases as the game wears on.
That's going to be a souvenir down the right field line. A guy in an orange T-shirt caught it. I don't know if he was a Giants fan or not.
Well, he could be an Orioles fan.
He's a golfer, you know that.
I'm going with Giants fan. Nice going.
Three and 2 to Rendon. Ishikawa over by the tarp, and ouch on the other side of the tarp. Didn't quite get it.
That hurt. Got him on the side. He rolled over the tarp and came crashing down on the railing. And I do believe the railing is padded. But even at that, I think he took a pretty good shot to the ribs. This is an A for effort. But watch him come down on his rib. Yeah, that's gonna stay with him. Even with padding, this is a pretty good jolt. That's how you break a rib. You lay out, you're completely exposed.
So it remains 3 and 2. And the walk. Worth did a home run on Friday off of Tim Hudson.
That was a pretty impressive swing of the bat. Now, this came with 2 strikes, and it was not a hanger either. He went down there knee high, and he just hit a screamer out of here. Very confident hitter right now.
2 for 5 lifetime against Vogelsong. And if you're thinking about Rendon, will he run? Well, he's 13 out of 14 in the stolen base department.
So that would be a resounding yes, he will run.
Yeah, yes, yes, yes.
Buster a little disappointed that the strike was, or that pitch was not called a strike. You will not see that very often from a hot hitter. Now, he definitely had an idea as to what he was looking for. Location-wise, this looks like a hanging slider. And I think he got into it and about halfway realized, tried to stop because he thought it was going to be a ball. He's got a very good eye. Either that or he just can't hit a flat hanging slider.
1 and 2. Found that.
And I think he is a low ball hitter. He's a tall guy, 6'5", and you don't normally say that about guys 6'5", but what makes him different than other 6'5" hitters is his swing is flat. And he can go down around the knees, and he can still keep that flat swing, which keeps his bat in that strike zone a long time. And that makes him unique.
I don't
think Jason Worth could believe it.
Well, he acted like he was going to get 4 strikes instead of 3.
a little perplexed about what he just saw. See the four-seam fastball, and you can see all four seams right there, which is why they call it the four-seam fastball. It just blows it right through him on the outside corner at the belt.
Here's LaRoche, 266 hitter. Panic playing out in shallow right field. 19 home runs, 67 driven in. Two and 0.
Joe Panic, he's got to feel like he's playing in right field from where he's at.
Very odd. 10 years from now, some manager is going to say, have you ever played the outfield? And he can say yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Not a problem.
Three and 0.
But we talk about the dinosaur of the pull hitter. You just don't see him very often. But on this road trip, you see two. Anthony Rizzo, the first baseman with the Cubs. And here, Adam LaRoche, another guy that looks to yank to his pull side. He will swing 3-0.
And he gets the strike. It's 3-1. Sandoval at the shortstop position. Outfield. Is close to being straight away. Morris is the only outfielder that is a bit out of position. He's off the line and left. 3-1. And it's foul, so it's 3-2.
Casey, our ball babe today. See, I think women could pull off the double flower. If you've got long hair, it works. But men, no. There's our ball babe on the left field side.
So if you're going to be at ball duty, in advance.
Yeah, let your hair grow.
Yeah, just let it fly.
Or let your beard grow.
3-2. Runner goes. Foul back.
Judging by the way LaRoche is walking around after the swing, I think he felt he should have done more with that pitch.
So the base runner Rendon, who drew a walk, he'll be on the move. Vogelsong at the belt. Runner goes. And the walk.
Easy take.
Here's Desmond. Desmond hitting at 246. 77 runs batted in.
So 22 pitches into this game, he should start to feel some comfort with the mound. And for Vogelsong, who really has to rely on location, that's critical.
By the way, we would like to send our best to the folks in Napa and the Sonoma areas. The earthquake this morning, I know, shook a lot of people up. There are some injured, and where we're at, our thoughts go out to everybody. And we can't wait to get home. There's a strike to Desmond. No balls and 1 strike. Side retired. Nats trying to pair. 2nd inning coming up. Coors Light, most consecutive batters retired in Major League Baseball history. Mark Burley's got the deal. He's got 45, but at the bottom, Yasmani Petit, he's got 38. He's creeping up. Wells, Harvey Haddix, Randy Johnson, Browning, Jenks, Jim Barr.
My old teammate, my old roomie.
Here's Ishikawa. Ishikawa pops it out of play.
Interesting to see his swings, given that he took a shot to the ribs trying to catch that foul ball, and it fell on the railing on the right side of the field. That last swing was pretty healthy.
Crawford on deck. The bench guys don't like to give up their spot when they get a start.
They do not. A couple cracked ribs, not a problem. I'm playing.
Let's go. Cowan digging that fastball at 94 out of pitches down and in. Good fan who gave it to a youngster.
That's what this game's all about. It's about the kids. And he's passing it on right there.
Ishikawa, left center field, hit well. Span on the move. It is out of here. And Ishikawa gives the Giants a 2-0 lead. I think his ribs are fine.
Yeah, I got to say his ribs are feeling pretty good. I mean, this is two-strike home runs to lead off the first and the second. Here, 4-seam fastball, just a challenge. I don't want to walk him type pitch. And Ishikawa's going the opposite way. And again, boy, you look at the body just completely between the legs. Great balance, great hip throw.
Here's Crawford, who pops one up. Shallow left field. Harper is there, and he'll make the catch.
For Ishikawa, taking on the deep part of left center, going left side of second base. That's a big man's home run. Just backspin it right out of here. That wasn't cheap at all. Nice.
So here's Vogelsong. Vogelsong 5 for 44 on the season. And there's a strike. Blanco's on deck. Out of play.
Look out. Saw a few gloves go up trying to catch that screamer going into the stands. But by and large, there aren't a lot of hits in this ballpark. But we're kind of spoiled with what we see every day at AT&T.
And Vogelsong out looking.
Strikeout number 200 on the year for Strasburg. Right now it's time for our Ford right choice. And first inning in a 3-2 challenge fastball, it was Gregor Blanco that just jumped on it. His second home run of the year, and that kind of shocked Steven Strasburg. So nice going, Gregor Blanco. You're our Ford right choice.
For Chris Medlin. Got a piece held on by Lobatone. It's no balls and one strike.
Came right back at him with the same pitch he hit out. Fastball at 94. Fastball pitcher's not going to let you take a fastball away from him. It's because you hit it out. Just miss. Strasburg had a little look into his plate umpire Chris Conroy as if to say, dude, that was a strike.
In the eyes of Conroy, hit the inside corner. It's 1-2.
What does a strikeout pitcher want to do if a guy takes him deep the next time he faces him? He wants to strike him out. Plain and simple. He wants to gain back some territory. It's so hard to lay off that changeup. Nice take.
Very nice take.
Nationals play Blanco straight away, infield and outfield.
So Blanco was called out. He's not happy. Ishikawa, his first home run in a Giants uniform since August of 2010.
Giants baseball on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area is brought to you by PG&E. See our progress in your town at pge.com/CRProgress.
Giants with 2 solo home runs. They lead 2-0. Here's Harper against Vogelsong. Chases one and misses. It's 0-1. On deck, it'll be Cabrera and then Jose Lobaton. In tight to Harper.
It's a nice pitch. That's where you want to try and throw him. He's got a flat swing and he's got a little hole at the belt inside corner. Vogelsong tried to cut a fastball right to that location. Go back in again.
And the 1-2 to Harper, and he hits this one to Panic, and Harper's retired.
Now this is frustrating for Blanco. This is the pitch early in the bat they call a ball. Now Strasburg wanted it. Now here's the 3-2 pitch that was called a strike. And that's why Blanco's upset. Early in the at bat, the pitch had been established that it was a ball. And they come back to it in a 2-strike situation, and he loses an at bat to it. And that's an inconsistency by an umpire that frustrates, well, really everybody.
Here's Cabrera who takes a strike.
Certainly frustrates Gregor Blanco, and he had every right to drop the Gumby shoulders. Kind of feel like the umpire took the bat right out of your hands.
Cabrera hit his 11th home run yesterday, and that's the only hit he has against the Giants in the series. He takes low. He's faced Vogelsong 3 times. He's 0 for 3. Remember, the Indians played in San Francisco during the early part of the schedule. And that's where Dribble Cabrera spent a lot of years in that Indians uniform. It's 2-2. He's a good player.
And dangerous. He's got power. Changeup. Easy take. An easy take is when it's so far away from the strike zone that the guy has no chance to swing at it. And that's the type of pitch that makes a pitcher mad. Because you're thinking, thinking if I could make a better location pitch, it doesn't have to be in the strike zone. I can get him to swing at my location. That's the whole goal of being ahead in the count. You have to get in that strike zone. That becomes his location. Well, Friday, August 29th is the Pacquiao-Algieri media event at AT&T Park. Your special event package will include early entry to a private media event with Pacquiao and Algieri on the mat on the visitors' dugout from 12:45 to 1:15 p.m. Plus, you get a collector's edition fight poster and a Giants Brewer game ticket. Go to sfgiants.com/special events and check it out. Manny Pacquiao, Chris Algieri.
So here's Lobaton. Hitting at .210, 2 home runs, 11 driven in. Strasburg on deck. In tight. 1 ball and no strikes. 3 walks for Ryan Vogelsong.
He's just not giving in. He's staying on a corner. And to the Nationals' credit, I mean, they have waited him out. And that's one of the characteristics of this offense, is that they have pretty good ideas of those strike zones. They will get pitches out of the starting pitcher. Vogelsong already at 37 with 1 out here in the second. This game is moving at a snail's pace.
This is foul back as Lobatone got a fastball that's 1-2. Strasburg waiting in the on-deck circle. Harper opened up the inning with a ground ball to Panic. And this is fouled out of play as well. And Vogelsong just asked Buster Posey to come out. Chat about this a little bit.
Well, he sees something in the swing, and he wants to confirm it with Posey. Have an idea that maybe would go against the Scott report against a guy. Veteran pitcher sees it, call the catcher out. What do you think? Going inside.
Back to Vogelsong. Perfect throw to Crawford. And that's a double play. Good idea, by the way.
Kind of big.
It'll be Pence, Posey, and Sandoval. Giants lead 2-0. It's 2-0 Giants as we head to the third inning. Let's check out our Togo's big play the Togo's way. Last night, Hunter Pence against Jordan Zimmerman. He hit a pitch out. Or it was close to a pitch out.
Well, that was the topic of conversation at lunch today. How do you hit that thing? And how do you backspin it out? Those are the home runs that he's hit And look at the fastball that he hit last night. I mean, that's ridiculous.
It's really close to the display that he hit it. And the first pitch is down low. Pence struck out in the first. And he wraps this one into right field, a base hit.
Got that curveball that time. All right, time now for our Geico quote. This one comes from Matt Williams on Hunter Pence. He can hit it anywhere. He can hit it anywhere within the ballpark or hit it out of the ballpark. He said, I've never seen anything like that. And either have we. Not that high.
Posey hit a fly ball to right field. Pence with 11 steals on the year. Pretty healthy lead for Pence. And it's a strike to Buster Posey. 0-1. Buster lifetime 3 for 11 with a double against Strasburg. Strasburg with 42 pitches.
Deliberate, slowing things down. A lot of guys will do that. We've been on base though. Very quick release from the stretch from Strasburg. Lobaton doesn't have a cannon for an arm, but he's got a very quick release. But Strasburg will definitely give him a chance to throw out Hunter Pence should he decide to try and steal.
Down low to Buster Posey. Pablo Sandoval on deck. Now Pence inches off a little further, and it's 3-1. So Buster Posey, who's taking a long look at Tim Flannery. And still looking at Tim Flannery. What are we looking at here?
Jake Peavy.
Did he get thrown out?
I think he did. I think Paul Immel, the third base umpire, just tossed Jake Peavy. There it is, no doubt. Why would Jake Peavy? I mean, I don't understand why he would get tossed.
Three balls and one strike. Big chopper, and it's past Rendon. And Posey is aboard.
Hit or an error?
I don't know. I think they're probably going to rule it an error.
I put E5. He'd be getting heated up. This is after he got tossed. He's going, me? And that was his idea of getting his money's worth. I think he's completely stunned.
Yeah. So, it's a hit. And here's Sandoval.
I don't have a problem with that. That ball was crushed.
Sandoval singled to left field in the first inning. Here it's a high fly ball to deep left field. Harper on the move, still on the move, and he's going to catch it on the track. And hustling over to third is Hunter Pence.
Now Posey had to go halfway at first base, which is what you're required to do as a runner at first. If you're wondering as to why he didn't move up when Harper threw the ball to third. I mean, he had to scamper back to first base. But an easy take at third for Hunter Pence. Or at second, your job is to get back the bag on a deep fly ball to left field or any part of this ballpark if it gets out to the warning track.
Well, Morris, who drew a walk in the first, now can knock in a run with a fly ball. Strasburg is going to try to pitch for the strikeout. Pence at third, Posey at first. One out. One ball and no strikes.
They've been trying to jam him the whole series.
Joe Panic on deck. Good swing and a foul back. It's one ball and one strike.
Trying to get a fly ball deep enough in the outfield to score a pitch. You don't have to get too deep at center. Span doesn't have a great arm, but you got to get a little distance out there with the corners. Harper and Worth both with very good arms. Worth a very good arm with good accuracy. Better accuracy than Harper, but they both are strong arms.
Foul back, and now Strasburg can pitch for the strikeout.
And they set that target on the inside corner too. Lobaton's sitting his glove right underneath the hands on the inside corner to Morris. That thing went down and away at the knees.
One ball and two strikes. Hands again. So a pretty good battle here between a couple of old teammates, former teammates. Strasburg, Morse, 1 and 2. And it's hammered into right center field. Hit well. It is off the very top of the wall. Pence is going to score. Posey held at third. And Morris comes through. He nearly knocked it out.
I tell you, what the Giants have done today in 2-strike counts is amazing. A home run from Blanco in the first. A home run from Ishikawa in the second. And here, with runners at first and third in a 2-strike count, this is not a hanger. He goes down and beats the curveball right there at the knees or maybe even below it and backspins the opposite gap. And boy, when he's hot, this is what he does. You're right, Smooth. He almost knocked it out of here. That's going to bring Steve McCaddy, the pitching coach for the Nationals, out to try and throw a little water on Strasburg right now. This becomes a very big point in this ball game. And Joe Panic has an opportunity to really stretch out the lead. Pure 100% strikeout situation. the emotion from Michael Morris. I mean, he always seems to wear them on his sleeves, even though he doesn't have sleeves on. But you know exactly how he's feeling.
They have sleeves. Short sleeves. Here's Panic. Now the infield's going to have to come in. He bounced out to second in the first inning. And he takes down low, 1 ball and no strikes.
First pitch changeup. And I have to believe that was one of the suggestions from McCaddy. Use that changeup more. It's not like he's getting beat with one pitch. That last pitch that Morse beat him on was a curveball and a good one. Again the changeup, and again Panic spits on it.
Posey at third, Morse at second. Three and 0.
Well, the way he's going after him, I don't think he cares if he walks him. You have to have some respect for Panic with what he's done. 27 hits in the last 17 games will earn you that respect.
Strike. Very good at home. A little shaky on the road.
Kind of the opposite of Madison Bumgarner, who's been great on the road and hasn't had great numbers at home.
Panic fouls it out of play. It's 3-2. A little work.
Maintenance.
3-2. What a changeup.
Curveball, and that's the second time he's lost a ball 4, and both payoff pitches have been curveballs that he's missed really pretty much in the same spot with. High and away.
Ishikawa hit a solo home run in the second. Hit it into left center field, his first since 2010 in the Giants uniform. And now we're seeing bullpen activity for the Nationals. So here's Ishikawa with the bases loaded and only 1 out.
Craig Stammen, the bullpenner, up for the Nats.
No balls and 1 strike.
There's that first pitch changeup.
Hit into left field and hit well. Harper moving back. He's going to catch. Tagging is Posey. The throw will go back to second, and it's 4-0 and a nice at bat from Ishikawa.
Oh, indeed, that is a sensational situational at bat. Say that 3 times fast.
No, I'll leave that to you.
Sensational situational. There's the reward. You come back to the bench and you are a hero.
Here's Crawford. Crawford popped out in the second inning. Morse at second. Panic at first. And Crawford laces one into center field. We got action. Here comes Morris. The throw is late. And Crawford with an RBI single, and it's 5-0. Crawford needed that.
You knew with Morris, who doesn't have great speed at second base and 2 outs and a pitcher on deck, Tim Flannery was going to challenge Denard Span. And Morris makes it easy. He's talking about it now. Take a look at the approach. A nice 2-out at bat just to get it in first pitch strike with a breaking ball, and Crawford turns it around.
So here's Vogelsong. He hits this one right back to Strasburg, and that's going to end the inning. So Michael Morris, happy as can be, as he knocks it off the top of the wall. The Giants score 3 times. It's 5-0.
Are on sale. The Candlestick Park Legends program just expanded its roster, as you can now purchase 49ers Hall of Famer Steve Young and Jerry Rice autographed seats. Other autographed options include Mays in Montana, Mays in McCovey, Montana, Dwight Clark, McCovey and Will Clark, and others. So go to sfgiants.com/Candlestick Memories and check it out. So Ryan Vogelsong's got to feel a little weird right now as he looks up at the score, and he's got 5 runs.
Well, I don't think he's even looking at it.
Well, you're right. In his mind, it's 1-0.
But I'm pretty sure he knows about it.
I mean, 25 starts, he's been shut out 9 times. Not going to be shut out today.
Here's Strasburg batting for the first time. He's 4 for 50. And he throws him right down the pipe. 1 ball and 1 strike. Hit on the ground to Crawford, who cuts across the infield, and he'll throw out Strasburg. Time to log on to csnbayarea.com and decide the player of the game. And your vote counts. Winner will be revealed during Giants postgame live. Check out all the action on the diamond like never before with enhanced Bloomberg stats and much, much more. Giants in-game live on csnbayarea.com. Log on right now and vote. So Strasburg retired. Here's Span. First pitch is wide, 1 ball and no strikes.
5 runs against Steven Strasburg. I tell you how unusual that is. And this is a note from Alex Pavlovich. Strasburg has given up 5 total runs in his first 4 career starts against the Giants. And the Giants have never beaten him.
Blanco looks like he's got this one under control. And that'll bring up Anthony Rendon.
It's the 4th time this year that Strasburg has had a game where he's allowed 5 or more hits.
Well, it's nice that Alex finally tweeted something that, you know, was worthwhile.
We say that tongue in cheek. He's good.
There's a strike to Rendon. Rendon drew a walk in the first. He takes a bell tie strike. I think in 2. Henry's the one that we worry.
Henry Schulman of the Chronicle?
Yeah. Henry's not on this trip. One and 2.
I think he was anticipating that it was going to be a little hot here in Washington, D.C. And it usually is this time of year. It's usually mid-90s with unbearable humidity. Today, it could not be more beautiful.
Hit out to right field, hit on the line. Hunter Pence is there, and the sure-handed Hunter Pence puts it away. Top of the order coming up. That was a 9-pitch inning.
Bay Area is brought to you by Big O Tires. Tires, service, straight talk. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
We're at National Park. The Giants with a 5-0 lead. Capitol Building in the distance.
Gorgeous.
It's great. Better view of the Capitol Building than the shortstop.
Well,
that's all I'm going to say about that. Here's Blanco.
It is a little high here in Washington.
Blanco takes a strike. He's homered, and then he struck out, looking to end the second.
But from our vantage point, we're looking right at the Capitol Building. And at nighttime, they light that bad boy up, and it's gorgeous.
Great. This is what we see right fielder right there. That would be Jason Worth.
It is a beautiful view.
Oh, it's gorgeous. Here's the 1-1 to Blanco. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Just, you're about twice as far away from the field in this booth as you were at Wrigley Field. And it's not a big deal for a guy doing my job because I'm watching the monitor, but a guy doing your job, it's a little tough. Tough because there'll be a pop-up hit to the shortstop and you think it might be going out. It's just hard to judge the depth perception of fly balls, pop-ups.
Wrapped on the ground to Cabrera, and Blanco's retired. Take a look at what's going on in the West and in the wild card. The Dodgers winners yesterday, Giants lost, and then in the wild card, Cardinals are playing pretty good. Braves right there, Pirates are catching on, and the Marlins think they got a shot.
Well, they do. But I think a lot's going to happen here in the next week. Some of these waiver claims are going to start to get solidified. Teams are going to add. A lot to be said roster-wise between now and the 1st of September.
And Pence pops it out of play. It's a ball and a strike. The other interesting part of the ball card is the Brewers are in first place in the Central. Cardinals have the top spot in the wild card. Pirates are still very much involved, and those teams are all going to play each other for a while in September. That's with another foul ball. So it could be that they knock each other around a little bit.
And I think there's only 4 more series left that the Giants have against teams with a record over 500. Next weekend against the Brewers, following weekend against the Tigers, and then 2 September series home and away with the Dodgers.
But if you look at the Dodgers schedule, it's pretty much the same way.
Well, it's shaping up to be a very interesting September.
Pence on the ground is short, and Desmond goes him out. The infield's very quick today, much quicker than the last 2 games.
Now that was what Matt Duffy said this morning about the infield. He says it's really hard. He says, but you know what? He goes, you kind of had that feeling after you took ground balls at Wrigley Field because that place was soft because of that. They basically had to rebuild the dirt in the infield because of all the rain that they had. But hard means fast when you're talking about infields.
And Buster Posey's got a base hit.
And just like that, Strasburg right back in the stretch.
Back in the stretch, facing a guy that's swinging a hot bat right now. Sandoval at 289. We sit on the post-game wrap last night. None of us would be surprised if he ends up hitting 300 this year.
And that's with one of the most horrific Aprils in his career.
Yeah, so bad. We were worried about him. It's like, what's wrong? Is there something physically wrong with him? Here he takes outside, 1 ball and no strikes.
Plays every day. He and Hunter pitch. You just pencil him in every day. Bang. When you're a manager of a team and you have a couple of cornerstones like that to your lineup, very important. Life is good.
We had a chance yesterday before the game in the clubhouse. We sat down with him. I talked to him for about 15 minutes about his country, what's going on over there. And the beauty of Pablo Sandoval is his English isn't perfect, but he can engage in a conversation. Out of play.
Well, one thing is for sure, he's got a plan. He knows where he's going to wind up when his career's over. He knows how many years he wants to play.
Yeah, you tried to buffalo him a little bit, and he wasn't budging.
No, he was not.
One and two with Posey at first. In the dirt, and Buster Posey takes off, and he'll make it.
It doesn't seem like a big thing until you get a 2-out knock and he scores.
Buster may do that better than any base runner that the Giants have.
Well, I've always said I think you can really tell the natural baseball players because of their first step on defense and their first step on the base pass. And the only way you get a jump like that is once you take your secondary lead. While you're taking your secondary lead, you're watching the flight of the ball. And if you sense that thing's going to go in the dirt, you got to have a lead and a first step that's quick off the get-go, because that ball didn't get away from Lobaton very far. And for a guy with average speed at best, you're talking about a catcher in August. He's not going to have great speed. He made it easy to second without a throw. And that's nice instinct as a base runner.
3 and 2. First base is open. See if that has anything to do with what Strasburg throws here. And we'll never know. The Sandoval is gone. Posey stranded. We'll head to the bottom of the fourth. It will be Jason Worth to lead things off.
Authority of the San Francisco Giants and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of San Francisco Baseball Associates, LLC.
Hey, the Rockies are going to be in town starting tomorrow. The Tuesday night game is Bruce Lee night, and you need a special event ticket. And if you get one, you're going to get a Bruce Lee Giants figurine. And on Wednesday, it's Irish night. Join the pregame Irish Heritage Night Party and receive a commemorative Irish Giants cap. Remember, you need the special event ticket to get the items. 415-972-2298. Worth takes a strike. Rockies for 4, Brewers for 3. Just outside to Worth. Worth struck out in the first and was very perplexed when he did.
Well, the way he struck out, it leads you to believe that he was not seeing Vogelsong at all.
And that's the first hit in the game for the Nationals, and it'll be a double.
And up until the last at bat, every at bat that he's had in the series, he's been dialed with his distribution of strength through the at bat from right leg to left leg. He's really had good power in every swing. And here, this is what we're talking about. Turns on the inside pitch, and for a 6'5" guy to beat that pitch as consistently as he has throughout his career, I mean, he's had to work on that. When he first came up, they were knocking the bat out of his hands. Not anymore. He's covered that hole up. He can hit.
LaRoche drew a walk in the first, and here he takes a strike. Worth with his lead at second. Crawford playing right behind him. And this is hit out into left center field, and it's going to fall. Worth is going to score. The throw goes into second, and in time is the walk. And it's 5-1. Back-to-back doubles here in the fourth.
And nice opposite field hitting from Adam LaRoche. Just like that, bang bang, couple of doubles, and there's life in that Nationals dugout. Take a look at the mistake, the location up above the belt, and LaRoche, to his credit, staying inside it, going the opposite way.
Here's Desmond, who lined out to Michael Morse to end the first inning. And he takes a strike. Harper to follow. And that's out of play. Nothing in two. Desmond leads this team in runs batted in with 77. And a high fastball. Desmond started to go but held up. It's 1-2. Vogelsong started to go but put on the brakes. 8 hits for the Giants, 2 for the Nationals. And that runs inside 2-2.
Good pitch. And that's a nice 1-2 pitch. Desmond has impressed us with how he will go from an 0-2 count to a walk. I mean, he knows that strike zone. He's tough to get him to chase. And now Vogelsong wants to talk about it. So I'm thinking inside again. What do you think?
So Posey back behind the dish. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Got him with a hanger.
Change up. They set the target low and away. It goes up over his shoulder on the inside corner. It's a swing through see ya. So Desmond going out of the zone to chase. There you see the outside target. It goes up above the hands, and Desmond cannot lay off. That's a big strikeout. Non-productive out, and those hurt when you're trailing by 4 if you're the Nationals.
Here's Harper. Harper bounced out to second in the second. The look to second, and the pitch to Harper is wide. 1 ball and no strike. 60 pitches now for Ryan Vogelsong. Check swing roller. Vogelsong will barehanded take his time when they get Harper.
That's a nice play. It's a nice play because Vogelsong's momentum is going towards the first base line. He's got to stop, plant, and then come across that momentum towards the third base line. I mean, this is almost a perfect swing and bunt, and not a lot of backswing, so you know Harper's going to get out of the box in a clean fashion. This is going to be his best time, and in the end, not even close.
No, he really took his time, Mike. Once he got to it, he took his time.
Well, he realized once he dug down the line that he had time, and that's a big out. But he helps himself out with the fine defensive play.
So here's Cabrera. Dribble Cabrera walked in the second. So LaRoche now at third, and the first pitch is in tight, 1-0. Third double of the inning. It's 5-2.
And those are the hits you get when you're having a good year as a team. You're down 4 runs. You just have a strikeout, a check swing, and it looks like a pitcher's going to get out of it and then give it up just the one. And Asdrubal Cabrera, a late season acquisition from the Indians, comes up huge as he goes opposite gap. And not a hanger either. It's on the outside corner. You try and pull it, you roll it over to the second baseman here. He stays inside it, keeps the inning alive, puts himself in scoring position. That's all about momentum, and that swing of the bat right there gives that Nationals team a lot of it.
And here's Lobato. And 8 cues went off the end of the bat, foul. 3 doubles in the inning. The Nationals came into this inning without a hit. With Strasburg on deck, Matt Williams has got Stammen up in the bullpen. Oh, and 2. And the pitch is high. It's now 1-2. Strasburg watching from the on-deck circle.
Just a little outside.
2-2. And a full count.
He's got to challenge him here. I mean, he's got to still has a 3-run lead. And the pitcher's spot in the lineup is on deck. If he walks Lobaton, you're going to see a pinch hitter here. There's plenty of action down in the Nationals bullpen. You have to make this eighth place hitter swing the bat.
Three-two. Vogelsong and Posey right now having a hard time. This will be the third visit between these two.
Well, they're getting some boos from the crowd. This has been an extremely slow-paced game. But there's a lot at stake here. Vogelsong has an idea. He wants to talk it over. Posey's making suggestions, and he's not quite getting the right pitch and location for Vogelsong. That's a mistake.
So the fourth walk. And now Strasburg is out of the game. And it's going to be Nate Scherholz. So this will be the debut for Nate Scherholz. Got here yesterday. Let go by the Cubs.
They changed him since he's come over here. His technique. When he got to the Cubs, he started getting into a crouch. And last year, I mean, he had a breakout year, hit 20+ homers. This year, it really set him back. He never could get it going. You see the crouch there. It's a home run he hit against Petit against the Giants when Chicago was in San Francisco. And remember that stance. He was in a squat. Nationals picked him up on waivers. They put him down in the minor leagues. They made a couple changes with his hitting style. Got him a little more upright.
And the first pitch is high. So it's 1-0 to Nate Scherholz. And it's 2-0. No hits through three. 3 hits and a walk here in the fourth. 2-0 to Scherholz. Crawford behind second. And that'll end the inning. 2 on the board for the Nationals. 5th inning coming up.
Enter to win a Coors Light Refresherator every time the Giants hit a home run at AT&T Park. Text REFRESH to 49375.
5-2 in favor of the Giants. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. Your oil change tune from great experts.
Taking a look at the new pitcher now for the Nationals, Craig Stammen, 38th time he's come in. Got a little funkiness to his delivery. You're going to see a low to mid-90 fastball, curveball, slider, changeup. You're going to see all four. He'll throw all four. But a lot of his shtick is herky-jerk, funky motion. A little crossover step. You don't see it early.
Morse has only faced him once. He's got a hit. And it's 3-0. The guy who wears Stammen out is Angel Pagan's 9 for 15 with 5 extra base hits.
That's wearing him out. Stammen in his 5th year at the big league level. Big guy, 6'3", 230. All of his big league time has been with the Nationals.
3-2.
That's pretty cool. We saw Jerry Blevins, the left-hander, early in this series. Blevins and Stammen were teammates at University of Dayton. They were in college together. That's a pretty good staff.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, they're teammates again at the big league level.
Got him. 3-0 to a strikeout. And that'll bring up Panic.
It's a nice comeback for Stammen.
Morse thought this was up.
But we've seen high strikes from Conroy, the plate umpire. Too close to take with 2 strikes.
Here's Panic, 0 for 1. He drew a walk in the 3rd. And he looks at a strike. Travis Ishikawa's on deck.
Big momentum opportunity for Washington here with Stammen trying to get a shutdown inning. Bottom of the 5th. It's the top of the lineup coming up for the Nationals. Giants trying to stop that momentum and bring it back to their dugout.
And that's foul over the head of Tim Flannery. One and 2 to Panic.
You see the right guy got it.
Oh, absolutely.
Nice.
And Panic lifts it into left field, and he's got a base hit. So Panic's first hit. And here's Ishikawa.
He's had 2 good at bats today. Talking about Ishikawa, the home run and a sac fly. Fastball that you're going to see if you're hitting from the left side from Stammen is going to have flat run that runs away from you, and you really have to think about left field. Stammen wants you to try and pull that outside fastball with that type of movement.
So Panic with his lead. Target is into Ishikawa. And he pops this one up. And I think that's where Stammen threw it. And Desmond's going to put it away. 2 outs, and here's Brandon Crawford. Crawford knocked in run number 5 for the Giants with a 2-out hit in the 3rd. Crawford shoots it into the gap. And can this get by Harper? It does not. Consequently, Panic is going to get the third, and that's it.
That's the beauty of having speed on your corners in the outfield. That ball gets by Harper. That's an easy score for Panic. And not only does he prevent Panic from scoring, he keeps Crawford at first base. Good opposite field approach. We talk about if you're hitting from the left side, that's what you have to think. So Crawford going up with a plan and executing it perfectly, but nice play from Harper, and the Giants can't put a run on the board.
So here's Vogelsong. And it's low. 1 ball and no strikes. Vogelsong struck out in the second, bounced out to the pitcher in the third.
Last time Vogelsong had it at bat against Stammen. That's when he got hit in the hand last year, and he had his hand all broken up.
Payback.
It cost Vogelsong about 10 weeks. Had to have surgery in his hand, 5 pins put in the finger.
Taps this one to Desmond. Desmond kicks it, recovers, and that in the inning. Top of the order coming up. 5-2 Giants.
TNT Uverse Rewind. We go back to 1999, and remember the Fighting Hydrant? That's right, FP Santangelo, and he had a nice career with the Giants. Kid out of Sacramento has not only had a nice little career as a player, he has become the voice of the Nationals here. Their color analyst on their television side. There you see the Bob Carpenter partners. FP, one of the really good guys in the game. You think he's got a big enough monitor?
Yeah, he's watching the football game. It's like a sports bar in there. He does a great job. Hey, we had him. Come on.
Yes, he big part of that 2010 year.
It'll be Span to lead things off. Span, Rendon, Worth. And a nice breaking ball for a call strike. Sandoval in at third. Ishikawa not deep at first. And the 0-1 is up and in. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Such a big at bat in this game.
And that pitch is low.
Well, the one thing you have to do is make him swing it back. That's a given. You cannot issue a free pass when you talk about a team that is feeling pretty good about themselves offensively after they put up a 2-spot in the 4th inning. And Span, their leadoff hitter, I mean, he makes them go. This is a big out in this game.
Down the left field line, this is going to curl into the seats. It's 2-2.
It'll put a smile on your face every time. Trust me, it just does. You can't help it.
Two balls, 2 strikes. And this is going to fall foul and bounce into the seats.
Span taking a walk. Come out. I mean, that's a long distance from the plate. This is one of the things that they're going to address next year. And this is where it has to get better. Not only does it take a long time to get in, once he gets in, he's got a pre-pitch routine every pitch. Step, high lift of the front leg. I mean, this is just too much time. And now he goes in, twirls the bat. I mean, that's a great routine, and we understand rhythm's important, but you got to tighten it up.
Full count.
Get in the box and hit. But this is a big pitch for Vogelsong. Cannot stress the importance of this pitch.
Going to be out of play.
And that's 30 seconds between pitches, and Vogelsong's ready to go. Ridiculous. That is huge. It gets past Ishikawa. It's at least a double. With Span speed, you never know. A 3-2 challenge right on the button. And a crossover step and a high backhander. And Ishikawa gathers it in. That, folks, is a big break.
And Rendon takes a strike. Hey, nothing like a good atom ball to make you feel better.
Oh, man, you got to have them if you're going to win.
Close. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Definitely wanted to try the back door of that outside corner with a little 2-seam changeup.
Fouled out of play, 1-2. That's a follow. And it's high, 2-2.
That's right where they wanted it. 1-2, you got count leverage as a pitcher. You could try and throw to an area that you think he just can't lay off of, go above the hands high. That's a nice pitch. That's right where Posey wanted it.
2-2.
Rendon knows that strike zone.
Pitch number 86 coming up, and it's a 3-2 pitch. And it's wrapped to left. 2 outs. And that'll bring up Worth.
I mean, 2 3-2 confrontations, and both money pitches were hit right on the nose. And yet, 2 quick outs. Vogelsong a chance to slow this momentum down, bring it back into his dugout, and a quick inning here would do that. But to do that, you got to get past Worth.
And he picked up the first hit for the Nationals, a double in the 4th inning. Swing and a foul into the glove of Buster Posey. 1 ball and 1 strike. Worth will step out. Panic on a nice backhand. 3 Adam balls. Thank you very much. 6th inning coming up. Top of the order for the Giants. It'll be Blanco, Pence, Posey. Nice play.
On the nose, 3 bullets.
It was a big day. Game 2 of a doubleheader at the Stick. Ed Halicki no-hit the Mets. It was the 3rd no-hitter in San Francisco Giants history. 2 walks, 10 strikeouts. 24,132 watched it. and it took 2 hours and 15 minutes to no hit the Mets. Here's Blanco, and Blanco takes a strike.
Ho. Ed Halicki, what a great guy it is. He was nasty. This stuff was legit. Every time he went out there, he was a potential no-hitter to happen.
Blanco's homered, struck out, and bounced out to second. Facing Stammen for the first time. And here he's going to rope one fair. And it hits the chair. And now Blanco's got a chance for 3. He's going to go. Worth his throw is not in time. And the chair kept that ball from ricocheting back out onto the field.
Boy, indeed, and that's at least 90 feet of a gift because of that very thing. He hit the chair. I mean, the girl probably should have got up and removed the chair. She was just trying to get out of the way. Just inside the line fair, no doubter. And then watch as it hits the chair, it sticks. I mean, that's when that happens. So now Worth's got to get in there and dig it out. And with the speed of Blanco, an easy triple.
So here's Pence with the infield in. And he takes in tight. Have a day, Gregor Blanco. He's got the 2 toughest parts of the cycle. Hunter Pence 1 for 3.
Pure strikeout situation for Stammen. Matt Williams saying we can't afford to give another run. I mean, he's really choked the infield off. And you have to do it when you have speed at third base with Blanco. Now, this is not a go on contact if the ball's into the ground situation with nobody out. But it is a strikeout situation. And he's throwing his best up there. And Hunter Pence, an aggressive hitter so far, is spitting on it. Now the question is, if you're Bruce Bochy, do you green light Hunter Pence here?
I'm going to say he is. It's 3 balls and 1 strike.
I think that's a good thing. There was the fastball challenge on a 3-0, and Pence let loose.
Pence hits a high fly ball to right. Worth has got a pretty good arm. He's going to catch. Here comes Blanco, and he's going to score standing, and the Giants lead 6-2. Good throw. Good baseball.
Everything about that whole scenario is the big leagues. The at bat, the effort, the way that Worth caught the ball, the momentum coming in, and the throw. The tag was perfect. It's a great situational hitting. It's a big run. Getting that momentum back in your dugout. Sure. Saw how Worth came into it, had good momentum. He's got a good arm, and that was a strike.
Here's Buster Posey, and Buster takes a strike at the knees. 2 for 3 today. Sandoval to follow. Swing and a miss. Another good 2.
2 good hard sinkers at 92 on that inside corner. A quick 0-2.
Digging it out. Get out of my kitchen. 1-2. Strasburg went 4, allowed 5 earned runs and 8 hits. Struck out 4. The 1-2. Foul again. Stammen's bound and determined to break Buster Posey's bat. He's trying like crazy.
He's running everything he's got in on his hands.
So we'll see what he does. Check out the target of Lobatone.
Fishing bite.
The little guy with the curly W did not get the ball. He's not very happy.
A few tears. Got his glove though. I like the effort.
Yeah. That is the life is not fair face. Posey, center field. Span broke back, now in. My kids used to show that face once in a while.
Still do. Kidding me? Yep, one guy happy, one guy is the end of the world as we know it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
Just thinking about what could have been.
So close and yet so far
Looks
away.
like one of his parents, I don't know if it's the person on the left, does have a glove. Here's Sandoval. Swing and a miss. Sandoval 1 for 3. I think Dad's got his handful with this guy's little sister. And it'll be like that for a while.
Yep.
But tell you what, it would be dull if you don't have a daughter.
Oh, I'm kidding. I mean, if it wasn't for, I have 5 children, 1 daughter, 4 boys. If it was all 4 boys, it would be pretty black and white. Throw a girl in there, and all of a sudden you got Technicolor.
HD.
Yep. That's the difference.
2-1 pitch. Sandoval, it's a high fly ball, left center field. And Harper's got everything under control, and that'll end the inning. Giants pick up a run. It'll be LaRoche, Desmond, and Harper coming up. Oh, man.
Bay Area is brought to you by Heffernan Insurance Brokers, offering business and personal insurance, employee benefits, and financial services. Visit us at hefins.com and by Xfinity, home of the most live sports.
6-2 Giants. We're headed to the bottom of the 6th inning. And Ryan Vogelsong getting set to work to the 4, 5, 6 slots in the Nationals lineup.
So here's Adam LaRoche. A walk and a double. And that's cued foul. Jeremy Affeldt starting to throw. More happiness.
That's genuine happiness.
That was a double high five right there.
She's a hit. There you go.
0-1 pitch. And another souvenir. Hey, me. Me.
He's going, Dad. She will not soon forget that moment. It's my dad.
1-2. 1-2. Giants will be at home tomorrow against the Rockies.
Activity in the Giants bullpen.
The Nationals will be in Philadelphia. Roark tomorrow against A.J. Burnett. Here's the 2-2. Got him.
Keep shaving that outside corner. Nice pitch. Well, it's time for you to tweet your photo using hashtag CSNBAFanPhoto, your full name and your hometown for a chance to have a show in an upcoming game broadcast brought to you by AT&T. And here's the Vinatieri family from Martinez, California. And that's a good-looking group, but who's the photo bomb in the back there? Holy smokes. Well, thank you, Vinatieri family. And that's our AT&T fan photo.
You can Photoshop that guy right out. High drive to left. Morris looking up. Gone. And it's 6-3. Home run number 21 for Desmond.
Take a look at the fastball challenge, trying to get ahead and strike one. It goes right at the belt, and Ian Desmond says thank you. That'll be number 21 on the year.
When it's time for a change, things speedy. Oil change and auto service. Your oil change tune-up and brake experts. Affeldt coming in. On your favorite mobile phone or tablet, get live look-ins, instant replay, scores, stats, audio. You get the game of the day. You can download on the App Store or visit sfgiants.com, and you can do it today, right now. You can do it tomorrow. But the faster you do it, the better it is for you.
New pitcher now for Bruce Bochy is going to be Jeremy Affeldt. For Affeldt coming into game number 51. 3-1 on the year with a 1.94 ERA. Low 90 sink. Big curveball on a split. 31 strikeouts against 11 walks and 46 in the third. But 47 base runners and 46 in the third. And that's a stat that jumps out the page. It's interesting. The right-handers hit 193. Lefties hit 238.
Here's Harper. Harper has bounced out twice. He does have. There's that big curveball we see from time to time.
That's Mr. Snappy.
Harper's got 2 doubles and 5 at bats against Jeremy Affeldt. He might throw it again right here. Instead, Morris better spin around and is by. 3 doubles against Affeldt.
Now, one thing about this Nationals team, they do not lack confidence if they get down in the ballgame. Now, prior to the Giants getting here, they had a 10-game winning streak going, and in their last 6 wins, 5 of them were walk-off victories. You see the numbers: 3 doubles against Affeldt.
So here's Cabrera. Cabrera not going to run with a double in the 4th inning. And he shoots it up the middle. Crawford dives. He's going to grab it and throw off the bag as Ishikawa. So it'll put runners at the corners. And it'll be Lobaton who's going to hit.
Now, this would have been a remarkable play as Ishikawa stretches out. I don't know. He may have got it. Nope, he did not. So Jordan Baker, first base umpire, all over the call.
So Lobaton, a switch hitter. Harper at 3rd, Cabrera at 1st, and a strike on the inside corner, and it's 0-1. Foul back, 0-2. The beauty of Affeldt, Mike, you say it all the time, is a lefty with the ability to get a ground ball.
And especially from guys hitting from the right side. The movement that he'll have with his fastball is movement that will run away with sink from the right-hand hitter. And that movement gets him out of a lot of jams. But it's got to find a glove.
In the dirt. So Harper scores on the wild pitch. Down to second goes Cabrera. And it's 1-2.
Yeah, I mean, this is a big play, obviously, for many reasons. Not only do they score a run, but Affeldt loses the force with a runner moving to second.
And the base hit. And it's 6-5. 6-5 It's amazing how that wild pitch changed everything.
Yeah, it really is. So more activity now in the Giants bullpen. Knocked out getting those ground balls, but they're not finding a glove.
It's going to be Scott Hairston who's going to hit. Gene Machi. Hairston hitting .213. He's done a good job as a pinch hitter. Actually, he's 4 for 32 as a pinch hitter. Kevin Franson is the one that's had a good year pinch hitting, 10 for 38. But here it's Hairston. Giants on top. And the fastball is in. Hairston 1 for 6 in his career against Staffel. He's always had great at bats against the Giants. Shoots this one down the left field line. This is a fair ball. They're going to wave in Robertson. Here's the throw home. And it's past Buster Posey. And this game is tied.
And Hairston does it again.
It'll be a double.
Has he been a Giants killer in his career? Take a look at the location. He's always liked that ball up, and there it is, right at the belt, middle in. He spins on it, and it's just a matter: is it going to be fair or foul?
Span takes in tight. Span is 0 for 3. Crawford's going to slow things down. One ball and no strikes. And a strike to even the count. So lefty against lefty, and the 1-1 is low and away. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Span going through the long routine to get in that batter's box.
And it's foul, 2-2.
You played with a guy, Mike Hargrove, who was really the guy that is probably the slowest to get in the batter's box during our generation. Did it ever drive you crazy?
He drove everybody crazy.
Span's the same way. I mean, this is just excessive.
Hargrove did all of his outside the box. panic. Tried very hard to make the play, but there was going to be no play. And now Bruce Bochy's coming out to get Affeldt. So Affeldt really didn't catch a whole lot of breaks here in the 6th inning. So it'll be Machi coming in. 4 runs in for the Nationals. It's 6-6. The Nationals have scored 4 times. And the Giants bring in a new pitcher.
It's going to be Gene Machi, who comes into a 1st and 3rd 1-out situation. He's 6-1 on the year with a 1.46 ERA. And for Machi, a lot going on here. You got a very good base stealer at first base in Denard Span. 41 strikeouts tells you that he could pitch for the strikeout. He'll probably try and get the ground ball early, but you got to make sure you keep Span close. I mean, cannot ignore him because he will steal, and he likes to go early in a count. And I would be surprised if you didn't see Span try and go early just to stay out of the double play with that go-ahead run at 3rd base. If you can get to the 2-strike, then you pitch for the strikeout. But early in this at bat, he should go for a ground ball. And he can do that.
Rendon is 0 for 2. He's walked. He's hit 2 balls to the outfield. And a snap throw. Got him.
Wow.
And Matt Williams is going to come out. And why wouldn't you if it's a close play?
And no lean either. It's just a quick move. And they got him right on the right arm. Jordan Baker, the umpire at first base, making the call. Ishikawa is so important to have a left-handed first baseman when you're looking for a quick tag. And that's a huge mistake from Span. Ooh, wow. Mr. Posey coming across body. Nice backhand. The dirt to stop that one. That was a wild pitch waiting to happen.
Mister with the extendo arm.
And he used every bit of that web to snuggle that baseball.
And the next pitch is down low. It's 2-0.
Not even close, really. I can't believe Machi would want to go after Worth instead of Rendon.
No.
Those guys are good hitters, but Worth's on fire.
There's a strike. So it's 3-1 to Anthony Rendon. Giants are trying to get off the field. And it's low, so it'll be worse.
9th National to hit this inning.
So here's Worth. Worth had a hit taken away from him by Panik in the 5th inning. Here he takes a strike and it's 0-1. At third, Hairston. At first, Rendon. And it's low, 1 ball and 1 strike. Little flare down the right field line is foul. One and two.
Yeah, as you said, trying to get back in the dugout. Sometimes that is not an easy thing to do. Stop the bleeding. And look what Worth has done the last 8 games. On fire, and a lot of 2-strike knocks, I might add.
And LaRoche, who's on deck, probably never thought he'd have a chance to hit this inning and struck out to open up the inning. Vogelsong then gave up the home run to Desmond. Two balls, 2 strikes. And a base hit, and the Nationals take the lead. Which I guess your point, Mike, was that's why you go after Rendon.
Well, that's exactly the point. And I know that Machi knew the deal going into this assignment. He knew the guys who were hot. And Worth is one of the guys you wanted to avoid. Here, another outstanding 2-strike at bat from Worth. Good bat head control going back up the middle. And you cannot tell me that he was trying to do anything else but that. It's almost like he was playing pepper. Got a pretty good pitch to hit. And for the first time today, the Nationals lead.
And the pitch to LaRoche is wide. 1 ball and no strikes. Seven hits in the inning. And a strike. That evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike.
That's not often you see 7 hits in an inning. But this is something that the Nationals offense is capable of doing. They can put up a crooked number in a hurry. And they've done it all year.
It's 1-1 to Adam LaRoche here in the 6th inning. Two balls and 1 strike.
Machi making a lot of mistakes up, and that's something we don't normally see him do. Getting some more arms ready down that bullpen. And sure, the lack of Machi's ability to get the ball down around the knees has caused him concern.
And a base hit to left field. A 6-run 6th inning. Desmond, who started everything off with a 1-out home run.
8 hits in an inning. And that'll have everybody start to look into the record books as to when that was the last time that happened.
Well, it helped that one of those hits got picked off.
Yeah, Giants got a break there with Bernard Span. So Dave Righetti trying to bring some calm out there. It hasn't been easy to find in this inning.
8 hits in an inning and you're still in the game. That's the good news. You see Lopez getting ready. The only out Machi has recorded is the out when he picked off Span. So here's Desmond. And I believe Buster Posey called time. So Machi ready. And it's low. 1 ball and no strikes.
And now that forkball that we've been seeing last couple of weeks, which has been pretty spectacular, just not cooperating with Machi.
Machi at the belt. And a strike to Desmond to even the count.
So he goes back to Old Faithful, and that's the slider.
The Nationals had 3 hits in the game coming into this inning.
And this is going to be a signals change here. Posey thinks there's some kind of exchange going on with Jason Worth at second base and Desmond. So they're going to change signs here. Walking off the mound, take a long, hard look at Worth. So apparently they thought they were.
Buster was staring him down, walking out as well.
Thought he was relaying. It's a good way to get a guy hurt.
One and one. Foul back, 1-2. This is a 33-minute half inning.
A lot of good 2-strike hitting. A lot of pitches. At a very slow pace for pitchers and hitters.
And that'll end the inning. 6 runs. Nationals take the lead. Giants now have work to do. Brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Giants had a 6-2 lead going into the 6th inning, and the Nationals dropped the 6th spot on them. Gregor Blanco's had a good day, and the Nationals had 9 straight batters reach, 8 hits in that 6th inning. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and brake experts.
New pitcher now for the Nationals is going to be Drew Storen. 49th time that he's come in. Storen's having a very solid season. 34 strikeouts in 41 innings. Former closer had a little arm problem. Then he came back and he kind of got put back into a rung below closer. Still a very, very valuable arm still to this Nationals team.
Here's Morris, who takes a strike. Panic on deck.
And then
Ishikawa.
Sorry, Smooth. Talk about storing his fastball. It's a good one. It'll go low to mid-90s, hard slider, and a changeup. Good arm.
Look out. Up and in. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Buzz right up shoulder high just to let him know you're out there, I guess.
Hit out to Harper. Sounded like Morris broke his back. 1 out.
Storen will do that a lot, especially when he runs that ball in on the hands. His natural movement of that fastball to right-handers bores right in on their hands. That was perfectly placed.
Panic is 1 for 2. He's walked and singled. And here he takes high. 1 ball and no strikes. Ishikawa on deck. We are in the 7th. And this is fouled out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Lefty Matt Thornton starting to get up now. All smiles down there in that Nationals dugout. All smiles down in that Nationals bullpen.
1-2.
That's the changeup.
So Panic trying to reach for Ishikawa. And he drives him down the right field line, but Worth got a good jump and he'll put it away. 2 outs for Ishikawa.
You know, it's amazing. Joe Panic has been here about, what, a month?
Yeah.
I look forward to his at-bats.
Maybe a changeup.
This is his 42nd game, so about a month and a half. That's called making a quick impression.
Ishikawa takes wide. 1 ball and no strikes. 8-6. Nationals here in the 7th inning. Ishikawa rolls it foul. 1 ball and 1 strike. Crawford on deck. Swinging a high fly ball, left center field. And that'll end the inning. Bottom of the 7th coming up. It's 8-6 Nationals.
Saturday the 30th, a 6:05 start. The first 20,000 fans will receive an orange and black top hat courtesy of State Farm. And Sunday the 31st is Star Wars Day. A 1:05 start. The first 20,000 fans will receive an R2-D2 Giants beanie. Tickets are available for all 3 Brewers weekend games. Go to sfgiants.com/tickets and check it out.
8-6 Nationals. When it's time for a change, think Speedy. Oil change and tune-up. The oil change, tune-up, and brake experts.
Javier Lopez, new pitcher now for the Giants. 53rd time that he's come in. 1-1 with a 1.99 ERA. And Javier Lopez is going to try and bring some calm back into this game.
The home run by Desmond opened up the 6. Harper doubled over the head of Morris. Crawford nearly threw out as Jubal Cabrera, but he pulled Ishikawa. And 9 hits in the inning. They allowed 9 against the Cardinals last year.
Just one after another. Just couldn't find a way to end the inning. So 1 run down. Javier Lopez is going to try and keep it at that. Adam Duvall comes in. He's at first base.
So put Duvall in your lineup. And Lopez will face Bryce Harper. Harper didn't do much against the Giants until Affeld came in and he doubled over the head of Morris in that 6th inning. Here he takes wide. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Second that hit Harper on the knee. 2 balls and 1 strike.
I thought he clipped him just a little bit. Yeah, a little ruffle of the uniform as that thing whizzed by him.
There's a strike. It's 2-2.
The way Harper took his at bat against Jeremy Affeld, he took a big first pitch strike down the count 0-1, got a fastball and just pumped it out to left field. Looked like he was thinking left field against the lefty. And I think he's doing the same thing here against Javier Lopez. Definitely a middle of the way guy. Cricket style.
Cabrera on deck. And this is rolled to Duvall. He'll shovel it to Lopez. 1 out. And here's Cabrera. Cabrera doubled in a run in the 4th. Then was that play that Crawford nearly made in the 6th inning, diving to his left. picked up a hit, so he's been on base 3 times, including a walk.
Just a wee bit low. The Nationals have definitely peaked at the right time as they start to separate from the Atlanta Braves in this National League East. And it's been these last 2 weeks.
Crawford to Duvall, 2 outs.
In these last 2 weeks, they've really gotten hot, and they've actually distanced themselves away from a Braves team that's playing pretty good ball right now. Confidence-wise, they are off the charts, especially in this ballpark.
They play the Braves 6 more times as Lobaton takes a strike. They play Miami 8 more times.
Well, we talked about Miami trying to get back into it. I mean, they're playing 500 now. Doubtful they'll have an opportunity to win this division, but they are definitely alive in the wild card hunt. There's about 8 teams in the wild card hunt, of which the Giants are one of those teams. Coming into today's ball game, if the season was over, the Giants would have won one of those wild card spots, and they would have had a 1-game playoff with the St. Louis Cardinals. The other teams that would be in the playoffs would be the Nationals, the Brewers, and the Dodgers. They would be the division winners.
In tight. Two and two. Get up the middle and a base hit.
So Lobaton with a couple hits today. Now they had Drew Storen in the on-deck circle. He was getting pretty excited there for a second.
Yeah, they just pulled him back. It's got to be Franson, right?
Got to be. And it's going to be Danny Espinosa instead. Espinosa a switch hitter, so Matt Williams is going to run him up there. Franson's their best pinch hitter. Franson's got 10 pinch hits on the year, 38 at-bats. Espinosa is 0 for 8 coming into this at-bat, which is why I thought we would see him. But Matt Williams said, no, I'm going to save it. That's a bullet I don't want to shoot just yet.
Espinosa's faced Lopez a couple of times. He's 1 for 2. And this is rolled foul.
One thing about Espinosa, he is not going to get cheated. And he's got good power. But he will strike out.
So he waits on Lopez. And he shoots this one up the middle, and he's got a base hit. And that'll bring up Denard Span.
Is it safe to say we can call the new human rain delay? mean, that was the handle that Mike Hargrove got, who back in the 70s was so slow to even get in the box.
This was pretty quick right there.
It's about as quick as he can be.
And a strike, and it's 0-1.
Shadow's starting to become an issue as we get into the later part of the afternoon.
Lobatone at second, Espinoza at first. And that pitch is wide. 1-1 strike. Lopez got a couple of quick outs, and then the base hit by Lobatone, the base hit by Espinoza. And this is foul straight back. It's now 1-2. Giants have 6 more outs in this game. In the 8th inning, they'll have Crawford to lead things off, followed by Duvall. And then Blanco. It's 1-2 to Span. And Span hits it off his foot. So Span gets back in. Hit the ball off a home plate that bounced very high in the air off of Affeldt. And that's how he reached in the 6th inning. Here it's 1-2. Low, 2-2.
I mean, don't you wish you could do that every time if you were a hitter?
What's that?
I mean, you had good speed. You were a back control guy. Hit the ball off a home plate.
Bounce it in front of, yes, hard infield.
2 things if you could do every time: swing and bunt down the third base line, the third baseman back, and hit the ball off a home plate. If you can do that, huh.
2 balls, 2 strikes. And a base hit into left field. Here comes Lobaton, and the throw home is cut off. And it's 9-6.
And I think Pablo Sandoval cut that ball off. He may have had a play right in front of the third base on Espinoza. Nice opposite 2-strike hitting, and boy, that has been the theme today for the Nationals. 2-strike hitting has been sensational. And right there you see Espinoza stopped between second and third. But Sandoval thinking the back runner, it didn't take advantage of it. We're going to have a new pitcher.
When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. Your oil change tune-up and brake experts. We'll be back. 9-6. And the new pitcher is Juan Gutierrez.
Take a look at the numbers for Juan Gutierrez. 54 games, he's 1-2 with a 3.23 ERA. 37 strikeouts against 11 walks. For Gutierrez, he will inherit runners at first and third with 2 outs here. And once again, Giants just can't seem to get that third out against these Nationals. They just keep it rolling. Gutierrez will give you a fastball. It'll go low to mid-90s. Lately, it's been more lows than mids. Curveball, slider, and a changeup. And he just missed pitching to Denard Span, and that would have been slow on slow.
Yeah.
Gutierrez is one of the slowest pitchers in the game. By the time he gets the ball, gets on the rubber, gets a sign, and goes to home. And Denard Span, as we've seen today, very slow getting into the batter's box. That would not have been a good mix.
So here's Rendon. And Rendon takes a strike. He drew a walk and scored in the 6th inning. This one out to Hunter Pence, and that'll end the inning. A run for the Nationals. Giants now trail by 3. We'll be back. Park. Pregame live will start at 6:30. We'll have the game for you right at the top of the hour. It'll be the Giants and the Rockies, and it'll be game 1 of that 4-game series. And tomorrow night, it'll be Jake Peavy on the mound for the Giants.
The pitcher now for Washington will be Tyler Clipper.
And a base hit for Crawford.
That's how you want to greet the new guy. Clippard, a low 90s fastball with a great changeup. He's got a curveball and a slider. You don't see a lot of it, but primarily you're going to see fastball and one of the best changeups in the National League. Take a look at the numbers for the setup man, Tyler Clippard. 7-2 with a 1.95 ERA, and look at the strikeouts, 69 and 55 in the third innings. That was the time he was mid to high 90s with that changeup. He's lost a little fastball, but still very deceptive.
So here's Duvall. And Duvall shoots one off of Clippard. And he'll get the out at first. Crawford goes down to second.
It's a 3-hit day for Brandon Crawford.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get his swing back. So here's Blanco. Blanco, a home run, a triple. Clippard takes a peek at Crawford at second. And a strike to Blanco.
And that's the changeup. You know, it's one of those changeups that even if you go up there looking for it, if he threw you 4 in a row, it would not be easy to hit.
No balls and 1 strike.
Hear the phrase Bugs Bunny changeup, and he's got one of those.
And that fastball to Blanco is high.
And then whatever comes out of his hand after you've seen the changeup looks like a bullet. Used to be an old cartoon with Bugs Bunny, a baseball themed cartoon. And there was a pitch that he would throw. It would get right to home plate and it would literally stop. The guy would swing at it 2-3 times. Whoop, then it would continue on. And that's the kind of changeup the league has labeled Tyler Clippard's Bugs Bunny changeup.
Cued off the end of the bat right to Clippard.
And that's the Bugs Bunny changeup.
And here's Pence. Hunter Pence stepping up his last at bat in the 6th inning. He had a sacrifice fly.
That was a nice at bat. At the time, Giants had coasted a nice 4-run lead.
Yeah, that was an insurance run. They needed a few more. So Pence on the day, 1 for 3. Swing and a miss. No balls and 1 strike.
Change it. Did you ever go up and look for a changeup?
No, I know. I never did. Not that many guys threw it, but I know guys who did.
Now this generation completely different than when we played too. Everybody has a changeup, but not everybody has one like Clippard's.
Pence skies went out to Harper, and that'll do it. So the leadoff single wasted by Crawford. It remains 9-6 Nationals.
Time now for our Honda Player of the Game. We think that Gregor Blanco would be that guy. A 2-for-5 day, but this is how it started. 3-2 fastball challenge. He puts it right in the bleachers in right field. Giants took a 1-0 lead. And then later on, comes up big with a leadoff triple. Who would later score a sac fly from Hunter Pence. For those 2 swings of the bat in his effort defensively today, he is our Honda Player of the Game.
So Gutierrez will go after Jason Worth. Worth takes down low. He's 2 for 4. Rafael Soriano's getting loose down in the Nationals bullpen. Low and away to Jason Worth.
Can't tell you how impressed I am with what we've seen from Jason Worth this weekend in his at-bats. He came in, Giants came into the series, he had been hitting 400 his last several games. Boy, you can see why. He is absolutely in control, and that really is rare for a guy 6'5". You don't see many hitters 6'5" that have the balance and the bad head control that he has, or that can stay flat with his swing at the bottom of the strike zone. A lot of criticism when the Nationals brought him over here, spent a lot of money bringing him in as a high-priced free agent. And he has really earned that contract.
Here it's 2-2.
If you're a player and you could say you justified a contract that was big, you're good.
Two and 2 to Worth. Look out.
Definitely not something you expect to see in a 2-2 count. The Giants really think he was stealing signs.
Foul back. Tell you what. The pitch up and in did not affect that swing. So it's 3-2 to Worth. The Roach on deck. And this is hit foul. Just wide of third.
Nice play down there by our ball babe. When Worth was at second base, that 6th inning, Giants were feeling that he was giving location, I believe, more so than a pitch. Easier to give location.
Well, Worth got a piece. It also got Buster Posey. It remains 3-2. Gutierrez 3-2. Foul back. Gutierrez, the 5th Giants pitcher, the 4th reliever. It's been a long game. A lot of pitches. A lot of time in between pitches. Be the 10th pitch in this at bat. Chop foul again.
So, checked it out. Seems to be okay. When you grab a wooden bat by the barrel and you tap the knob of the bat in the ground, there should be a little hum. It's a kind of a high pitch hum. It's sort of like a tuning fork. You know right away as soon as you tap that knob on the ground if it's broken or not.
And another 3-2 pitch is a ball. And earlier, when things are going well, this little guy did not get the ball, and he was very upset.
He was not happy.
And then lost it for a little while.
Well, guess what?
And this ball girl remembered that. And you know what? In the one that she originally threw out there may have been intended for him.
Well, he got his uni on, he brought his glove, and now he's got himself a ball, and he gets to give the high fives. All is good in the world in the national end.
Here's LaRoche. LaRoche takes low. LaRoche has a couple of hits, got a couple of RBIs. Defensive players have been out there a long time today, and for the Giants from the 6th inning on.
Now, the one good thing is they're not having to do it in extreme heat, which is really what we thought we were going to see here. Come back to Washington and you look at the schedule and you see you're playing the Nationals in August. You're thinking, oh, that's going to be rough. I mean, it's automatic. This is the most beautiful weather we've ever seen.
Two balls and no strikes.
And if you're in the outfield or the infield, long innings, and you get a pitcher out there that can't throw strikes, it's excruciating.
Now the Giants will overshift. Roach looking for a good pitch to hit, and it's not close, and it's 3-0. And Gutierrez was like this in the Giants' win on Friday. He pitched the 9th inning. He threw 30 pitches. He walked 2, gave up a run. And now Worth is going to go, and why not? And he'll steal it.
And that's not piling on either. I mean, you're talking about a 3-run lead here. And if you're going to be out there on the mound and you're going to forget about a guy at first base, like Gutierrez just did, a good base runner is going to sense that, and he's going to go. I mean, Bosey can't even get off a throw. Nothing frustrates a catcher more than that.
Blanco now has got a beat on it. He'll put it away. So 1 out.
So a nice comeback there, down the count 3-0. You know, little things like not paying attention to a runner. You give a team like the Nationals, who were very, very confident here. They're a good team to begin with, but here you make 90-foot mistakes consistently, they're going to beat you. That's what good teams do.
So here's Desmond.
little spin move just to let Worth know he's out there. Shadows completely come across the field, and that really does favor the hitter, because no longer do you have to look at the sun shadows that the lights were casting across the infield.
Vogelsong facing Desmond in the 6th. With 1 out, he struck out LaRoche, and then Desmond hit that home run.
That was a big potato right there.
Made it 6-3.
He leads this Nationals team in home run.
Two balls and no strikes.
He walks Worth. He was down 3-0 in the count to LaRoche. Here he's behind Desmond 2-0. He's really, you're creating a lot of good hitter counts. And for guys with power like Desmond, LaRoche, Worth, you're going to get burned. And that's just an overthrow. But you know, you see this time of year. It's all about fatigue. It's been a long season. You're in the dog days. In a week, you're going to be able to expand the rosters. But the guys who are beat up right now the most on a team are bullpenners. And it's showing here today.
This is hit up the middle, and that's going to be a base hit. So Worth is going to score. And Desmond picks up another RBI. And that'll bring up Harper. Harper is 1 for 4. And he rockets one to right, down the line, gone. So Harper, it's a 2-run home run here in the 8th. And I think that's called piling on.
Well, that's a strong man swinging the bat. And this gets out of here in a hurry. Kind of reminds you of what Hunter Pinch did yesterday with a high pitch over his shoulder. Here, he takes the high fastball and just rifles it out of here. That was loud, right off the foul pole. Remember, the Giants were ahead in this game 5-0.
So here's Franson. And a couple of breaking balls. No balls and 2 strikes. And this is foul back. Ten unanswered runs for the Nationals.
There is nobody in that bullpen. This is Gutierrez. He's going to have to finish this.
Blanco coming in. And here's the catcher, Jose Lobaton. Lobaton's had 2 hits. He's been on base 3 times. And he drives it into right center field. It's hit well, and it's off the wall. And Blanco gets to it, and he rifles it back into second base. Blanco really thought he had a shot at getting Lobaton. The middle infielders went out his cutoff men.
That's a 3-hit day for Lobaton, backup catcher.
So here's Espinosa. Espinosa singled in the 7th. 17 hits in this game. And after 5, the Nationals had 3.
Well, that's
3 of those hits came in the 4th.
That really is amazing. It just gives you an idea of the firepower of this offense. And once it gets rolling, it's hard to stop.
Espinosa takes high. 2 balls and no strikes.
Another good hitters count. Gutierrez has not had many outings like this one.
Well, the outing on Friday, he gave up just the 1 run. Just said he threw a lot of pitches. And this is hit well into right center field, and this one is gone. So Espinosa hits one out of the park. And that's going to bring up Span. That's 5 runs here in the 8th inning.
And Gutierrez got to finish. I mean, they need him to find a way to get out of this inning. And you hate to sacrifice a guy, especially a guy who's had a great year. And he's clearly out of gas. Fastball right at the belt, and Espinosa, as we said, who's got good power, just shows how much power he has. And that was gone just by the sound. You knew it was out of here.
So here's Span.
Sixth at bat of the day for Denard Span. And reluctantly, Sergio Romo getting up.
Oh, 2.
$11 runs given up by the Giants bullpen. And that is just unheard of. Came in as a group, ranked in the top 3 in the National League in bullpen ERA. And today that ERA has taken a beating. And there's one way you can sum it up. Their arms are tired.
Span shoots it foul. Worth led the inning off with a walk. He eventually scored. "36th pitch for Gutierrez, and it's high. It's 2-2. If he loses span, I think he's probably out of the game.
Well, I hope this is the last hitter because he's clearly out of gas. He's absolutely at the end.
And that'll end the inning. So a 5 spot here in the 8th. Harper hits a 2-run home run. And Espinosa does the same. 9th inning coming up. Tomorrow morning, Mike will talk about the game with Murph and Mac on KMBR 680, the sports leader. It's 14-6 Nationals. And the new pitcher is Rafael Soriano.
Closer for these Nationals with 29 saves. Obviously not a save situation here. 53rd time he comes in. He needs work. 4-1, 2.49 ERA. You see a lot of cutters, low 90s with the cutter. Pretty much a lot of cutters. Occasional slider to go along with the cutter.
And then another cutter.
And then he'll mix in a cutter.
I suppose he skies this one out to Worth. And Worth will make the catch. And that'll bring up Pablo Sandoval.
Long day for Posey. A lot of time in the squat. These last 3 innings, the Nationals scored 12 runs. He will sleep on the plane.
Sandoval takes high. 1 ball and no strikes. The Pandas 1 for 4. There's another strike.
He's had a nice road trip.
Number trip started out with that rainstorm that went through Chicago for about 15-20 minutes, and then the tarp debacle.
He spent a lot of time at the yard, no doubt. Chance will be very happy to get back to San Francisco where you don't have to worry about weather. At least we think.
Sandoval gone. 2 outs in the ninth.
But it is funny, you know, how many times have we checked the weather on our various apps around the area on this road trip? Like every day, 20 times. San Francisco? Never.
So here's Morris. Morris is 1 for 3. And the 1-0, and it's in tight. 2 balls and no strikes. Morris nearly knocked it out of the park in the 3rd inning. He doubled high off the wall. Swing and a miss. 2 balls and 1 strike. And that's popped back and out of play. It's 2-2.
Morris grinding.
Got to grind.
You have to.
Cannot give it bats away.
That's what the great hitters do. No matter what the score.
Got him, and that's the ball game. So very disappointing loss for the Giants after coming up with a nice lead. And tip your cap to the Nationals. They came back in this one, but the Giants end up going 3-3 on the road trip. But you know that they felt it should have been better than that.
Well, you're right, and they lost it in a way they're just not accustomed to losing, and that's with the bullpen. And this was a collapse, really collectively for the first time we've seen this happen. So the Giants come home with a 3-3 road trip and start a 7-game homestand tomorrow.
All right, final score: the Nationals 14 and the Giants 6. Stay tuned. Esurance Giants postgame live. That's going to start right now.